Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Intentional Productivity Tips. I am Megan. I'm your very favorite strategic productivity partner, and I want to thank you for joining me today. Today we're here to talk about your productivity, as we do every week. But this week, we're going to talk about something that I think is important. This is one of those weeks with productivity when we're going to get real. The topic we're talking about today is how to stay productive when the world feels like a dumpster fire. Have any of you over the last, months, years, felt like there's just a lot going on in our lives, in the world's lives, and everywhere that we look? So today we're going to talk about how to handle and how to stay productive when we're feeling like the world is a dumpster fire. But first, I want to thank you for joining me on USA Global TV's radio YouTube channel. Please remember, like, subscribe, and even be notified when new episodes drop. I'm not going to lie, I like likes more than I thought I would before I started this show. So please check out other shows and opportunities that you can on USA Global TV and Radio's YouTube and website. So let's talk a little bit about today. Today, our focus of our productivity, again, is staying productive when the world feels like a dumpster fire. I want to start by asking you, how are you doing? How's your productivity going? Does your energy feel pulled and that there's a lot going on, maybe a little heavy, maybe a little questioning, maybe a little doubting, wondering what's going on? Our goal is to have less pressure, more support, and real life productivity. So that's why today we are going to be talking about staying productive when the world feels like a dumpster fire. Today isn't about doing more. It's about actually doing what helps. Because even when the world's a mess, your productivity doesn't have to be. So let's look at how we can make that happen. What does that mean, Megan? How can I feel like everything's going on crazy around me. What do you mean, do less and I'll feel better? Let's look a little bit about how we can make ourselves be a little bit more productive and also change our approach and our perception when we know the things around us are a dumpster fire. Let's be honest, life is not easy right now. As we know, there are a lot of things going on in our personal lives, in the world. And so how are we supposed to be staying focused and productive with so much stuff going on? Again, this is where we start by being honest and being real. We have to have real expectations. Now is the time for those real expectations. We need to remember there's a lot going on. It can be harder to focus. There might be more distractions or curiosity or wondering what's going on. It feels like maybe our energy battery is low. Maybe there's a lot of energy that's being pulled in our thoughts and what's going on. This is real. This is not a failure. Today is not about doing more. It's about looking at how can we stay productive when everything going on around us is a little bit crazy. How are you feeling about how things are going? As I'm reading these, does this make sense to you? The place we want to start is resetting our expectations. We have to restart our expectations and say, productivity looks different right now. Depending on what industry you're in, I have a couple clients that are in finance industry. Right now, they are a bit crazy, right? With things that are going on in the world. We know that there are a lot of industries, people, countries, parts of our world that are being impacted by everything that's happening. So how do we stay productive? Start by remembering productivity looks different right now. Not every day is high output. You might be thinking to yourself, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, I was able to get so much more done. Right. 10 years ago, 5 years ago was COVID. So 10 years ago, 15 years ago, right. We know that there's always going to be ebbs and flows in life, and depending on what's going on. Not every day is high output. We can't continue to compare ourselves to the past because the past was the past and it was different than now. Productivity is not about constant action. Being productive doesn't mean I'm doing something all the time and I've got things going on. Productivity means finishing what you need to and completing the process. So we want to think about some days equal progress, some days equal maintenance. We want to be honest with ourselves. We want to start with having grace and mercy with us and being honest, resetting expectations, saying, where am I with what's going on right now? Am I okay? We need to check in with ourselves. We also need to remember we can still move forward, just maybe a little bit different, right? So if the world feels like it's a little bit of a dumpster fire, if the world feels like a little bit is going on right now, what exactly is it that we can do, right? We can still move forward, again, just differently. So one of the things we want to do, we want to remember to be kind and rewind ourselves. I love the saying, be kind, rewind. I am aging myself. But when you think about it, be kind, rewind came from the VHS tape world when you would have to be sure to rewind the tapes that you sent back or took back to the movie place. My favorite store, shout out to Video Schmidio in Santa Barbara. Anyways, when we think about the idea of being kind and rewinding ourselves, it's kind of that same idea. We're not taking a videotape back, but what we're doing is we're sitting down and we're stopping and we're rewinding our day and we're looking at what's going on. We're preparing for the next sign, the next step. So be kind and rewind to yourself. It's about rewinding and preparing. We want to be sure that we're putting less pressure on ourselves. We need to remember there's a lot going on in this world right now. We do not need to add any additional pressure. There's enough pressure going on. So again, focus on kindness, focus on taking care of yourself. We want to have more intention. We want to be intentional about our actions, and we want to take smaller steps. When we think about how to move forward when the world is a dumpster fire, it's about being kind to ourselves. It's about putting less pressure on ourselves. Don't allow others to put pressure on ourselves. Don't allow other situations to put pressure on you. Don't think because this is happening somewhere else, I need to do this. Don't force the pressure. Stop and identify and reset your expectations for now. Be intentional and again, take those smaller steps. I know I repeated that twice because it's important. These are things we can do for ourselves, but we don't always. So we want to remember that we want to remember we can move forward. It's just how we do it. Now, how do we do it? This is the heart of what we want to talk about today. So what I want to do is give you 5 examples of what you can do, actions you can take when the world feels like a dumpster fire. You don't have to do all 5 of them. You just need to pick what supports you in that moment and in the time that you're in, right? So let's look at those right now. So the first step we need to remember, we need to pick, we're looking at 5 actions we can take that support us so that we're not feeling like we're forced to feel like the dumpster fire that's going on around the world. So what we want to do is remember 1, not every minute needs a job. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, you don't need to be doing all of the time. You don't need to optimize everything. Sometimes you just need to be. There's enough going on in the world right now. It's okay to be. You don't have to think and put that pressure on yourself that I should be doing more. I should be doing more. Stop. If your feeling is dumpster fire-ish, that's when you need to stop and remember, I don't need to be doing all of the time. I need to protect myself. 2, be intentional with scrolling. Protect your focus. This is super important. We know that we're able to access information and see videos and talk to people from around the world right now, which is both exciting and it can be a challenge because when you think about it, if we're always scrolling, if we're always picking up our phone and looking, or if we're always checking something, we're always going to be having that information that's coming towards us. And there's sometimes when we want to say, you know what, right now, I'm going to protect my focus. I'm not going to focus on scrolling. I'm going to focus on what I need to do. A couple weeks ago, I was getting ready actually to do this show. And I was like, oh, I'm going to check a social media really quickly. And I happened to find some really bad news. And there I am. I've got my, I'm stunned. I'm shocked. I'm looking at news that isn't necessarily positive. And in 3 minutes, my show starts. I realized at that point that maybe putting my phone down and not scrolling would have been a better option. We want to protect our focus. Maybe taking a walk, maybe stretching, maybe just sitting in the quiet. Maybe that would have been better. So it's important to remember to be intentional. When the world is a dumpster fire and there's so much going on, be intentional about your scrolling. Third, do less, finish more. This is where I say a short list is more important sometimes than a long list, right? This comes to when we're looking at maybe our projects, maybe you're looking at your Monday board, your Kanban board, your Trello board, my Kanban Light board. Maybe you're looking at whatever it is that you've got your projects and your actions, and that has everything, which is really great, but it can be overwhelming. Sometimes when the one way to stay productive when the world feels like a dumpster fire is to do less and finish more. So while you have your long list of priorities, also have a short list that's much more attainable, the things that you're actually going to do. You all have heard me talk before. I love the idea of a now, next, after list, right? So what I have been doing in these recent months, I have everything organized that I'm working on, but I have a now list. And that is what I focus on. When I feel a lot going on and the stress and pressured and pulled, I'm not looking at my big list because that's going to stress me out. I know I can finish tasks on my small list, my action list, and that feels good. I feel in control, like I'm doing something. So do less, finish more. The fourth step, don't rely on your memory. There's too much to hold in your head. I want to ask you a question. Recently or anytime, have you thought to yourself, like, I used to just be able to remember that. I always knew I remembered those details or that information, or it was easy to recall. And maybe it's not right now. Maybe your mind has a lot more information in it. Maybe your mind is being pulled in different ways. That's okay. Again, when the world feels like a dumpster fire, we need to have grace and mercy with ourselves. One way we can do that is don't rely on memory. There's too much. Write it down. Write it down because you'll remember it and you'll be able to find it. And don't feel bad. This is one of the things. I was with someone earlier today and they're like, oh, I used to remember this and now I have to write it down. Don't feel bad. It's a fact. It's a reality. Accept it, embrace it, and be prepared to move forward. The fifth intentional productivity idea that you can incorporate to pick and support you today so you don't feel like the world's a dumpster fire. The fifth is to be kind. And I'm saying this the real version to yourself. You're navigating a lot. Adjust your expectations. When I mean be kind, the real reason, I don't mean be kind, kind of like that smile sometimes, or when people ask you how you're doing and you say, oh, it's fine, everything's fine. I mean genuinely be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace and mercy. Remember, there's a lot going on in the world right now. We want to be kind to ourselves. You're navigating a lot. Adjust your expectations. Just because maybe something happened before doesn't mean it has to happen now. What you want to do is you want to take care of yourself. And you want to say, how can I take care of me? Because if we're taking care of ourselves and we're adjusting our expectations, we're able to that can counterbalance the activities and everything that's going on the outside, right? So that's why we're looking today, and we spent so much time talking about what are actions you can take to support you when you feel like when the world feels like it's a dumpster fire. We want to slow it down. The most productive thing you can do in a dumpster fire season is focus on what you need and what actually matters. So my goal of what I've been talking about and what my goal of having you think about today and thinking about those actions that you can take, how can you focus on what you need and what actually matters? And so that's why we looked at those 5 ideas and suggestions. Remember, support yourself. Don't push harder. Everything you have to just keep going. One more time, because I didn't read that right. Support yourself. Don't push harder. You don't have to do everything right now. You just have to keep going. It's so important right now for you to remember to keep going. So my question for you, how are you going to stay productive when the world feels like a dumpster fire? What's one small thing you will do for yourself this week? And one action you're going to take to slow down, to give yourself space, to give yourself time, to adjust your expectations, and to be kind? This is what can look like. So let's start with picking one. So I've got for you 3 ideas, right? So there's 3 things you could do, 3 options, right? You could work on one focused task. You could give yourself one break. You could give yourself one pause from what you're working on. The goal is to be intentional, to remember, to identify what I would like most for all of you when you're listening to this and you're thinking about when things are really stressful and a lot's going on and the world feels like a dumpster fire and you know you need to be productive. The most important thing is for you to stop, to take care of yourself, to look at your expectations, to look at what you actually need to do so that you can live this life that the timeline in life that we're currently in. My challenge to you, if the world's a dumpster fire, at least make s'mores and focus on what actually matters. My goal, my challenge for you this week, like every week, is to be honest and to be real and to be focused and to have realistic expectations. So that's why today we want to say, it might feel like the world's a dumpster fire, and it is. So how can you be productive? What steps can you take? And that's my goal for you to think about into action and the actions that you can take over the next weeks. So please remember, not every minute needs a job. Be intentional with scrolling. Maybe don't scroll right before a meeting or a presentation or you're about to do a show and get bad news. Do less, finish more. Look at your to-do list, right? Have maybe a shorter to-do list for yourself. Right now, I normally don't encourage multiple to-do lists, but when the world's a dumpster fire, we need to have something smaller that we can contain, we can finish, and we can focus on. Don't rely on your memory. There is a lot going on. So if you need to write something down, if you need to take time, then do that. And the real version, be kind to yourself. These are the actions that are going to help all of us to be able to move forward in this dumpster fire. My goal for you this week, like every week, is that you can take at least one of these actions, one thought, one idea, and say, yeah, that makes sense. I can do that. Maybe that's going to be to take a break. Maybe it's going to be to take a pause. Maybe it's going to be to change your scrolling habits. Whatever it is, again, my goal for all of us, if the world's a dumpster fire, at least make s'mores and focus on what actually matters, because that's the best way to move forward and see where we're all going and where we're headed. I want to thank you for joining me today to talk about intentional productivity and to have, again, a get real conversation. There are times we talk about fun things. There are times we talk about seasonal things. And there's times when we need to get real and be honest and say, it's a rough world right now. How can we be productive? That's my encouragement for you. I want to thank you for joining me today. You are watching me on USA Global TV and Radio's YouTube channel. Remember, like, subscribe, and even be notified when new episodes are dropped. You are watching me on Intentional Productivity Tips. I will be back next Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific, where you can watch me again. In the meantime, if you'd like to stay connected, feel free, please follow my Instagram, Intentional Productivity Tips. We can also connect via email at hey@productivitymegan.com. My challenge for all of us this week is to take time to be real, to be honest, and to think about what's the best way we can take care of ourselves in a world when so much is going on. Thank you for your time. Again, I hope one of these thoughts or actions kind of clicked in your brain, you're able to take one of them and you're able to say, I'm going to be productive this week, no matter what's going on. Again, thank you for watching me. Thank you for joining me. I will be back next Thursday, same channel, 2 p.m. Pacific. Have a great week and take care of yourself.
Get ready to wear the brand that's changing the world of media. Introducing the official USA Global TV and Radio online store. From our TV show hosts to our incredible global guests, you asked, we delivered. Rep your appearance with pride. Whether you've been on air, hosted a show, or tuned in, we have something just for you. Visit us at usaglobaltvradiosshop.myspreadshop.com and start shopping today. Check back frequently. We're dropping fresh new designs all the time. Showcase your role in our global community. These designs celebrate your voice, your story, your presence. It's more than just merchandise. It's a movement of hope, inspiration, education, and elevated listening. Head to usaglobaltvradiosshop.myspreadshop.com. Your spotlight awaits. USA Global TV and Radio. Elevate your style. Elevate the world.
In a world full of noise, misunderstandings, and interruptions, master the art of listening with Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck is the listening mentor of USA Global TV and Radio and the Amazon #1 best-selling author of Mastering the Power of Elevated Listening. Elevate your listening. Elevate your life. Join a global learning experience in person or via Zoom. Reserve your spot today. usaglobaltv.com/book-your-session or drjacqueline.thinkific.com. Join Dr. Kerbeck's listening courses or hire her to unlock deeper connections and authentic conversations. Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honored to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.